Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Marina, and here on my channel we are talking about hidden disabilities, the challenges on a daily life basis, and all the stuff that are good and all of the stuff that are bad. Because in the normal life environment, I think we can improve a lot to make life easier for everyone. So in this video I decided to talk about a little bit more about the community of wheelchair users. I have quite a few of those in my friend group, and the daily struggle is real. Let's start with a simple example. Sailing, my hometown, was a host for the Olympic Games, for the Summer Games for sailing in 1972. We have an Olympic harbour, and the most part of the Olympic sailing team from Germany is training here. Sailing is a little bit of a problem sport. It is going in and off of the Olympics, but it's getting back into the Olympics, and at the same time, Paralympics will also follow. I'm quite involved in the sailing activities because as a journalist, you always get some appointments just to go out on a boat and take pictures. For me, with my disability, it's fine. I know how I can make it work on a boat. I never feel unsafe on a boat. The only part I feel unsafe every time is getting onto the boat. So I would never ever change boats on the open sea because I wouldn't feel comfortable with my foot. But I think it's legit. Never had any problems with it. But as I said, we are an Olympic harbour, and to this day we don't have access a ramp that people with wheelchairs or with walking disabilities can just easily board a ship. Because it's expensive to build, and I'm like, yeah, I understand it if we would be a small little harbour, but we are an Olympic harbour, so expensive. Just ask the IOC, the Olympic Committee, and I am sure we will find a solution, but they are not willing to. And I think it's really, really bad, especially here in my hometown. We don't have beach wheelchairs, for an example. So our town is always saying, oh, we are so inclusive and so open-minded. And if you really have a disability, you are screwed. Before I get back to the topic, another example. Last year, I still was a tour guide. This year, I can't do it anymore with my foot. But we were going to the locks from the Kiel Canal. And the tour is called Easy Kiel and an accessible tour. And then there was a fun part. The lift going up to the locks were broken for 2 seasons straight. And imagine how great it is to be a guide. You have a lot of people with walking disabilities, and then you need to explain to them, you have 2 choices. You crawl up the stairs or you can't see a thing. Because our city isn't giving a shit how you can walk up the stairs because the lift is constantly broken. And I felt so sorry for those people. Most of the people were really understandable because it wasn't my fault. They clearly could decide it wasn't my fault. They were kind to me, but I felt sorry. They were like dogs, needed to sit underneath the stairs and couldn't see a thing, couldn't hear the stuff that I was talking about. After I talked to the group, every time I get downstairs and talk to them and explain them everything and find at least a little bit of space where they can at least see the locks. And I think this is ridiculous. Fix the lift, please. You have a lift, please make it usable because people are depending on it. And our tours are called Easy Kiel for a reason. But just to give you an insight how bad the situation in my hometown is. Now back to the Olympic sailing. Our headquarter is located directly in the old Olympic harbour. It was built during the Olympics in 1972, so it's protected by law because of a special building. A special old building have a lot of protection and regulations. And there were a lot of stairs. And I was like, it's an easy solution, just make a lift, a stair lift. Easy solution, wheelchair user can use the stair lift, someone can take the wheelchair and put it up, or build an elevator, I don't know. There would be a solution, but the city was telling them, no, it's a protected building, you are not allowed to build a lift. So no one with a mobility disability is able to walk for the Sailing Federation here in Germany, for the Olympic Committee for sailing here in Germany, and we can't handle Paralympic athletes. And I think this is really getting annoying because, as I said, sailing is getting into the Olympics again in Los Angeles, so in 2 years from now. And we really, really should have a Paralympic team from Germany because, in my opinion, the Paralympics, I have so much respect for those athletes, especially for the Winter Games, and they should have an accessible place to train. But guess it's never going to happen. And it's a shame because even the people that are working for the German Sailing Federation are like, we really want to. We have a good amount of applications with good resumes that would fit perfectly into our positions, but we can't. And I was just like, you know what? In your case, I would just say, we will build another building 100 meters from here, brand new, with all the accessibility we need. But yeah, it's involving money, and yeah, and it would involve someone who actually has the balls to stand up. And this is the part where everything is falling apart every time. Everyone wants accessibility and they are like, oh yeah, of course it's important. But if you need someone to stand up and talk about that stuff, no one has the balls, so nothing ever changes. And I think it's pretty annoying. Another example from sailing, not wheelchair users, but we have a sailing team with blind and hearless people. And I can tell you it was a pain in the ass to get permission for them to start at our biggest sailing event, the Kieler Woche, because they were like, oh no, we don't want them. It's not safe when they are outside there. What if they miss the starting signal? They can be a hazard for everyone else. And I was like, first of all, blind and hearless. The blind people can clearly hear the starting signal. They are helping each other out. It's the whole goal of this boat. And there are always one or two people without a disability on board. Those are the captains and they make sure everyone is safe. They don't want to compete to win the competition. They want to compete because it's fun. It's fun to do normal people stuff for them. And 2 years ago, it was the first time they were allowed to start. Everyone was laughing at them, and I was just like, the pro athletes were just looking down at them, and I was just like, let them be. What's your business about it? Just let them be, let them have fun, let them sail. I was so annoyed at one point. I did a lot of journalism work about them and pushed them, gave them publicity, because as you maybe know, sailing is a quite expensive sport. Okay, I think the boat was a donation, but you still need one pair of sails at least every season, I think. Especially when you're doing competitions. And we are not talking about the high-end stuff from the people that are going to the Olympics. But it's still 10,000 euros at least. And then everything that need to go into the boat, it is at least another 10,000 euros. So they need to get at least 20,000 euros donation. Best case even more, because they need to get the boat out. It's every time, I think, $200 to get the boat out of the water and in again. Then they need a car that is able to pull the boat and stuff like that. Then you need to get from A to B. The athletes need a place to be, need a place to sleep. And all of those costs are adding up constantly, and it was really, really hard for them to be able to compete, and they figure it out. And I never saw a team celebrating so hard to get the second to last place. They were so happy that they weren't the last one, and there were two boats now, I guess, and the other boat was in the middle field, and it was a big success for them. But to be honest, the situation in sailing in general is pretty bad. It's nearly the same as in the riding and the horse sports. If you are rich and have a lot of money, you are clearly able to compete. If you don't have money, people are looking down to you because you can't afford to go to the big clubs, and it's hard to get sponsorship. And I was so shocked. Every Olympic athlete needs to own their own boat, pay for it by their own money. Okay, sponsor money. But just to give you an idea, we are talking about $500,000 for a boat that is able to compete on an Olympic level. Then you need on top the sails and stuff like that. Your sailing clothes, everything is so expensive when it comes to sailing. And I think it's ridiculous because it's a sport just for rich people. And I think we would have a lot more talents if everyone would be able to get into the sport. And it's a fun sport. And I think it's a shame. I don't know how it is in other countries, but this is the sporting situation here in Germany. If you want to have more details, I am involved in the Winter Olympics, and I can tell you it's a lot at the moment that is happening, and everyone wants those shiny medals at Olympic Games, but how? If you don't support your athletes, how are they supposed to get medals? It needs to be a system from early childhood until the games that is supporting those athletes, and it's not happening. So I am not shocked that we had so less medals during this Winter Olympic Games. But again, it's another topic. I want to talk about the accessible stuff. I have a friend of mine is really into sailing. He is wheelchair bound. He can't use his legs anyway, so he can't move on his own. And he was able, because he found a lot of sponsors, to build his boat by scratch, so he's able to sail on his own and compete. And he was like, I don't want to compete in the Paralympics. I can sail my boat, and if the jury is saying it's fine, I want to compete with normal people because I am a good sailing person and I don't want to have the disability advantage, like people are calling it. And I think it's legit. And if he don't have an advantage because of the boat he built, and if there were rules and regulation, why not let him be and sail in such a category? And I know there is at least one class in sailing that is open for people with a disability and people without a disability. And guess what? The people with disability are crushing it. I know that last year the season was won by a wheelchair user. And I was like, this is how it should be. And of course, my hometown, because they are thinking they are so beautiful and so cool, wanted to hold one of their competitions. I was just standing there and I don't know if I want to laugh, to cry, or just want to shake my hand, because it was so miserable for those people to get into those boats. And I was like, it would be an easy solution. Just go 100 miles from here to Denmark and see the solution. Go to Amsterdam, go to the Netherlands. They are brilliant in accessible boats and in accessible beaches and stuff like that. And here in Germany, we are so far behind. We are so far behind. I mean, it's the same with the theme parks. Come and visit as a wheelchair user a German theme park. A friend of mine is sitting in the wheelchair. he was sitting in the wheelchair from the beginning, so he doesn't know anything else. And it is, he always needs to explain himself. They are arguing with him that the wheelchair is not allowed in the waiting line. And I was like, are you out of your mind? Should I carry him on my back, or are you crazy? And as long as it is not a spinal injury and he is fine and everything is safe, of course he should ride all the roller coasters he wants. He is going on more roller coasters than me. He is braver because I can't stand spinning. I throw up as soon as stuff like starts spinning. He is doing all that stuff, and why not? And here my local theme park, it's such a pain in the ass to discuss with the cast members how they should treat people with a disability. They are not trained. And I mean, Universal is just nailing it with the AAP system. The cast members are trained well. And you come back here to Germany and you are like, you are just insane. They didn't even offer a system like that. I don't know how the Europa Park is handling it. I was there the last time, 2021. I want to go this season again just to see if it had improved or not. But they have a similar system to the Express Pass. So it would be quite easy to apply a AAP system, a DAS system, like you ever want to call it, for people that can't stand in line. But they are not willing to. And I just like, it's not like only people like me that can't stand a longer period of time. It's also people with autism. A friend of mine, she would just go nuts if she just would be in an environment that is loud, noisy, and crowded for an hour. She would be done for the day afterwards, and just gave those people a chance to enjoy themselves. And I think here in Germany, we really need to work on it and improve it. So in the future, you can expect on this channel that I will pick up companies that are doing well and showing all of the stuff that they are doing well. I think I did already upload one with Universal, doing it well. Then I will upload another one. For an example, Kennedy Space Center. It was a nightmare, but they are working on it. They took my feedback seriously. They offered me free tickets for my next visit, so I can see that they really had improved. So I think it's good, but I still want to call out everything that was happening. And it was just a lack of training of the cast members. And I think it's important to call stuff like that out. And I will be back in Orlando in November, so I will show you, for an example, everything that Universal is doing. The best part for me was seeing a dog kennel just for the guide dogs. You will never see stuff like that. I think at this point, not even our theme parks have a pet service dog relief area. This is the situation here in Germany, just to give you an idea how bad it really is. And I think we really need to work on it. This is the reason why I want to take you to our German theme parks and show you how it is. I want to go to Legoland Billund, to the original Legoland and the Lego house, because Lego is from Billund. The fabric, the big university and stuff like this is in Billund, and it's only 2 hours drive from me. And I think I was 10 years ago the last time at the Legoland there, and I really want to go again. And already booked the Legoland hotel. I'm really excited to see how did they improve, because I know Denmark is pretty good in all of this stuff compared to us here in Germany. And I will go to our Heide Park Resort as one of the Merlin Entertainment owned parks. Yeah, Legoland is also owned by Merlin Entertainment. I loved I used to love the Heide Park because it was the park with the good coasters. Hansa Park was just the children park until the point they opened up Kernan. Kernan was changing the vibe of the entire park, and the Heide Park never ever recovered from it. And I think Merlin Entertainment is not putting money at all into in this park. And it's a shame because it would be a park with so much potential, but Merlin Entertainment is just not having it. And I'm sad because I think this could be a great theme park. Maybe it will become again in the future, but I really want to see if they had changed anything compared to accessibility, because the last time I was there, it was not accessible at all. But the last time I was there, I was a Merlin cast member because I worked for the Sea Life Center. So I saw this park maybe with the eyes of a Merlin Entertainment employee. And this point of view can be quite different to a normal visitor. And I think now it's a lot of time happening in between, and I can judge how the park at the moment is really doing. So again, about the future of this channel, I will take you guys with me on daily task just to show you the struggle that I'm facing because of my disability. I need to go to our, I don't know how to explain it, it's such a German thing. If you have a work accident, there was a special insurance kicking in, and this insurance had special hospital and special treatments. You always get the best of the best. I get a pension because of my disability. And I need to go to one of their hospitals. It's in Hamburg. And I need to use public transportation. I will take you guys with me, and you will see how great, how wonderful our train service is if you need help. And to get to this hospital is also a really pain in the ass because it's located quite outside at the outskirts of Hamburg. And I think it's a good video just to show you guys how hard it can be on a daily basis to do normal stuff. Then I will do for at least 6 to 8 weeks an ambulant rehab system here. I will take you guys with me there as well, just so you can see I need to do stuff like that at least once a year, just to show you guys the not so nice side of having a disability like this. And in the summer months, I will definitely specialize myself more on theme parks, more on attractions, because this is my passion, going to theme parks. And I will take you guys with me and show you all of the ups and downs. And as I told you, if you have a story to share, if you have a disability and want to get heard, you don't want to go in front of the camera by yourself, just share your story with me. If you want to go in front of the camera, we can also make it happen via Zoom or stuff like that. I just want to share all of the beautiful stories because I think it's important that we start spreading the awareness that having a disability is not the end of the life, and you can still have a pretty amazing life. So I think this is all I want to talk about today. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.